Good afternoon. It is Friday, and so welcome to our Lunch and Learn. This will be the last Lunch and Learn of 2024 because we are closed all next week, so I won't see you till 2025, which sounds like a lifetime away, but really it's only 2 weeks. So this is our last time, and I wanted to talk to you today about a buzzword that's going around in the health industry called NAD. People are asking me about it. People are wanting to purchase it. And what people don't understand is that it is just vitamin B3. Okay. So this is important because your body takes the vitamin, breaks it down into different metabolites, and you make NAD if you have enough of the vitamin B3 in your system. You should not take B vitamins singularly, like there's B1, B2, B3, all the way up to B17, right? I think there's even a B18 now that's been discovered. You don't want to take those individually. You really want to take those as a complex, as a B complex, because they're in the right ratios that your body needs. You're not going to take too much because they're water-soluble vitamins, and so you're going to just pee away whatever you don't have. If you are not taking a good comprehensive metabolic vitamin that you can absorb, then you're not going to be getting what you need. And so that's why we have that Pharmanex P3 scanner, is so that we can actually see what you are absorbing. So the NAD Plus is a new buzzword, I'm going to say, for lack of better words, and they are making supplements that are labeled that, but they are not bioavailable. That means that you're going to be spending money for something, but you're not going to get much benefit out of it. So I'm going to give you this little short report, and then you can make up your own mind about that. So short for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, NAD plus supplements are being studied for their effects on cellular energy production, mitochondria function, and DNA repair. But before reaching for this supplement, it is important to explore the role of NAD plus in the body, the existing evidence about longevity, as well as ways to boost NAD plus levels naturally. So, according to this report, the supplements are not all that in a bag of chips. And so this is what we want to be looking at because, there are all kinds of trends in the healthcare industry, and we don't want you to be wasting money on buying things that are not going to be bioavailable. We want you to be buying things that are bioavailable, and so we're trying to separate the hype from the truth, and that's what we do here at Abundant Health and Wellness. Now, NAD plus, now there's NAD and there's NAD plus. All of those molecules come from vitamin B3. So if you are taking a good comprehensive vitamin, you're not going to need to supplement because this is something that your body makes naturally. So you don't want to get caught up in that hype. So NAD plus is a coenzyme, a small molecule that acts as a catalyst for enzymes to perform their functions. NAD plus is found in all the cells in the body, and it has a critical role for transferring energy between the cells. NAD plus is involved in various metabolic processes, including converting the food we eat into energy, producing ATP. We talked about ATP last week, and it is the final step for our cells to make the energy that we need. So if we just eat a good diet and we supplement appropriately with a good multimineral, multivitamin, our body is going to do what it needs to do to make that coenzyme. And so because it's a natural bodily process, they cannot synthesize that appropriately in the lab. So this is something that you need to understand, that if we treat our bodies the way we are supposed to treat our bodies, then we eat the good food, we take the good supplements, all that kind of stuff, then it works the way it is supposed to, and we don't have to buy all these extra supplements that don't do us any good anyway. So we're wanting to let you know exactly what you need to do, and so you're able to do this. So there's NAD versus NAD plus. So NAD plus is the functional form of NAD in the body. So if you're buying a supplement that says NAD, it's not going to work for you because you need the NAD plus. You're only going to get the NAD plus when your body makes it. The supplements that are labeled that way are not bioavailable. So bioavailability means you take in a supplement and your body absorbs it, it metabolizes it, all of your cells do whatever they do, and you're a healthy person. This is why we have this scanner, because in 30 seconds, you're able to see, are my supplements working for me? And believe you me, I was shocked when I first did this on myself, because I took very high dollar supplements and I took a lot of them. I spent a lot of time and a lot of money, making sure that I was doing the best for this temple, right? And when I did the scan, I was very disappointed in my score. So I changed, because people are smarter, right? So you listen to people that are smarter than you, and you try what they suggest. And then in 90 days, when I rescanned, my score was the highest that it could be. It was in the top category. So that's what you want. You want to know that what you're taking, you're spending time buying it, you're spending time organizing it, you're spending time taking it. You want to make sure that it's actually doing what it needs to be doing in your body. And so that's one reason why we're very, very selective on the supplements that we use, and we're very, very particular about the ingredients and all that kind of stuff. So the NAD Plus is what we are primarily focused on when it comes to longevity, cellular health, and energy. Now, this is by Dr. Oral Swenson. Now, he is the founder of Ionic Health, which is a regenerative and longevity medicine practice based in Boston. Now, we here at Abundant Health and Wellness, I'm really into longevity. I'm really into anti-aging. Now, why is that? Because I believe that we have a lot to contribute to society. I believe that there's just a whole lot of things that we're supposed to do, and you can't do it if you're broken. You can't do it if you're disgusted. You can't do it if you don't feel good. And so I want to get older as far as have another birthday, but I don't want to break down. I don't want to get decrepit. I don't want to have brain fog. I don't want to have all those age-related things. If you treat your body the way you're supposed to, and you metabolize the nutrients that God gives us, then we can age gracefully, and we can be productive members of society well into our later years. So this is what I love about anti-aging technology and longevity, because I think it's really, really important. Nobody wants to live decrepit. I certainly don't. So in the mouse models, and of course the scientists always use mice or some other critter when they're testing things, but in the mice models, the NAD plus component naturally decreases as we age. When we reach middle age, the NAD plus levels are half of what they were in our youth. They decline naturally because of the accumulation of DNA damage and mitochondrial efficiency demand more and more NAD plus, and we're just not making it. So you may have heard, if you're up on your nutrition and if you're up on your longevity studies, you may have heard about misfolded proteins, and you think, what the heck is that? Well, that is your DNA as it does its cycle. It divides, it multiplies, it divides, it multiplies. Well, it has glitches in the matrix, as it were, and they call that misfolded proteins. And so when that happens, the body has to do more to recover. It needs more NAD plus to recover, and we just don't make that. And so they decline because of the accumulation of the DNA damage. Now, this is why the vitamins that I take, and I didn't bring one in, but it's in a packet, okay? And part of the claims of these particular vitamins is that it protects against DNA damage, which is misfolding the proteins. I take another supplement that works on my mitochondria. We talked about this last week. The mitochondria causes us to have more energy. It causes our body to repair its DNA. It is the actual energy of the cell. And so I take those supplements, and I take them because of all the reasons that I just said. I don't want to be declining in these properties just because I'm having more birthdays. There are a few existing methods to restore NAD+. This includes oral supplements, nasal sprays, transdermal patches, self-injections, and infusion therapy. The main difference lies in the delivery. Some methods are considered faster and more effective than others. Now, the supplements, the oral supplements, are not effective. I told you that. You can do IVs, but that's really expensive because you have to go to a hospital or a clinic, and you have to have a phlebotomist do what they do to inject you in that. And they have to know what they're doing, because if they do too much too fast, then you can get nauseated, you can get dizzy. Just a whole lot of things can happen. So honestly, I'm just telling you, if you take your regular vitamins and let your body do the work for you, you are going to come out way, way better. All right. The infusions and the injections are much quicker. Okay. But there are those side effects of getting too much too fast. Now, I'm just going to tell you, I'm not a fan of these patches. People want me to have these patches in the clinic and different things, and I actually have tried them. Probably haven't tried every brand, but I have tried them. They did absolutely nothing for me. So I don't recommend them, and you can be your own judge of that if you want to spend the money to do that. I have done that and not had any benefits. So NAD plus precursors. These are things that you have or that you need in order to make the NAD plus. So these are the molecules that are converted into other substances and compounded by a chemical reaction. Now, the nicotinamide and the nicotinamide riboside, say all that 3 times fast, are more challenging for the body. Okay, they are substances the body uses to produce the NAD plus. NAD plus is more challenging for the body to absorb, and the precursors, the NAD, okay, and the NMN, okay, nicotinamide, those are the precursors that change your vitamin B into the NAD plus that you can actually absorb. All right, nicotinamide needs fewer steps than the NAD plus to be absorbed. And so anything that you can do to your body, with your body, to help your body absorb it faster is great, because you have to do less steps, which means your body has to use less energy. So a study published in Geroscience in 2023 determined that nicotinamide supplementation increases blood concentrations of NAD plus and is safe and well tolerated in oral doses of up to 900 milligrams per day. Now, there's a new form of the vitamin B3 called NR, as I told you a while ago, and it has been found safe and effective, and it's a little bit less expensive than the other one. Now, what we have here in the clinic, and I like this one a lot. Now, again, I'm not really keen on an individual B vitamin unless you've got blood pressure issues and all that kind of stuff, that you're doing a targeted therapy. A lot of people don't like B3 because of the flushing. This one is 500 milligrams. It does not flush, and it's something that's very easy for your body to turn into the NAD plus. If you're really concerned about flushing, we do have it in the 100 milligrams, but I just think you need more than that to get what you need. All right, I think you need that. So what does NAD plus do? And again, I don't want you to go out and buy the supplement. I want you to treat your body the way it deserves to be treated, so you can make your own NAD plus, because it's going to be very bioavailable. So it helps you produce ATP. Now, we talked about ATP last week. ATP is what fuels the mitochondria so that you have energy. Mitochondrial health, the mitochondria will be likened to a refinery or a power station where the ATP production takes place. NAD plus is essential for maintaining optimum mitochondrial function and for the mitochondrial biogenesis, which involves the creation of new mitochondria. Now, this is really important because, as you know, as we get older, cells get tired and they die, and the body absorbs them and produces new cells and that kind of thing. So we have to have the raw materials to produce the new cells, even mitochondria, which are tiny, tiny little organelles inside your cell. The NAD plus that you make yourself aids with DNA repair. So we know that when your DNA gets broken, that's when you get cancer. That's when you get other metabolic diseases. And so if we can do something to repair the DNA, then we're going to be a lot better off. So there's a component that you make called sirtuins, all right, SIRTUINS. They are the signaling proteins that have a critical role in the aging process, including energy metabolism, inflammation, and extending the lifespan. By interacting with these sirtuins, the NAD plus mediates the repair of the damaged DNA, which accumulates as people age. So if you're doing this, right, you've got your little repair factory already in your body. Also, the NAD plus reduces inflammation. All right, inflammation is your key driver of sickness and disease and pain. If you're somebody that has to struggle with your cholesterol numbers, it is because you have inflammatory processes going on in your body, and cholesterol is the body's way to squish down that inflammation. So cholesterol is not the demon that you think that it is. Right? Now, we don't want your cholesterol to be over 300 for sure. We want it to be around that 200 mark because your body uses cholesterol to patch up things that are damaged by inflammation. And so if you're supplementing appropriately and you're making your own NAD plus, then you are squashing down the inflammation and your cholesterol numbers are going to be exactly where they need to be. A review published in the International Journal of Molecular Science concluded that the existing research on the benefits of NAD plus on aging and health span are currently based on cell cultures and model organisms, that there has been no research on human beings. And so I think this is really important. You don't want to go out and spend money on a supplement for a human being that has not been tested on human beings, right? If you know the chemical processes and the enzyme processes, you just need competent vitamin B3 to make your own NAD+, all right? So this is one of the reasons that we do these lunch and learns, is so that we can give you the backstory, because honestly, it can be very confusing. And when people ask me these questions, it spurs me to research them, and then I can make the best decision for myself and for my family and also for you. And so that's why we do this. Now, gauging NAD plus levels. Too much of a good thing is not a good thing, okay? And so they are saying that high NAD plus levels have been linked to cancer, and it negatively affects your immunity. So you're not going to get this by taking a B vitamin. A B vitamin is water soluble. You're going to take what you need. Even if you take high doses, you're going to pee it away. Whatever you don't need, it's going to go. When you're taking a synthesized supplement like this NAD plus that they have on the market, it can build up in your system. You'd have to take tons and tons, so I don't think that's a big deal. But the infusions and the injections, that's something else, okay? And so you want to make sure that if you decide to do that, you want to make sure that you're not overdoing it and you're listening to a competent person, so that you're not enhancing cancer thermogenesis and you're not overworking your immune system and causing your immune system to falter. So the existing evidence on the exact mechanisms of the connection is limited. However, NAD plus levels seem to have both pro and anti-cancer effects. They may serve as a protective factor early on in cancer development, but it is a cancer promoting factor later in the progression of the disease. So if you have just been diagnosed with cancer, you may find it beneficial to increase those levels, but if you have been fighting cancer for a few years, it is not beneficial. So this is really, really important that they're not telling you. I've not heard anybody that's been talking about NAD plus asking me about the effects of cancer. A study published in Nutrients found that replenishing NAD pools by NR could inhibit tumor growth and cancer metastasis, as well as promote the overall health status of tumor-bearing mice. Specifically, The author suggested that boosting NAD by NR supplements could be a novel strategy to prevent the progression of hepatocellular carcinoma. That's cancer of the liver. Now, they're not talking about the supplement NAD. They're talking about regular vitamin B3. Okay, they're not talking about those other supplements. Dr. Terry Simpson, who is a board-certified general surgeon and the first surgeon certified in culinary medicine, right, from Tulane University, said that NAD metabolism is crucial for cancer cell survival, and targeting NAD biosynthesis pathways such as the NAMPT-mediated salvage pathway has been explored as a therapeutic strategy. Now, they don't explain all that. You're going to have to go and Google that and look at that. But he's saying that increasing your vitamin B3 naturally could have a positive effect on the cancer. Now, the NAMPT, those are the initials, is a gene that plays a role in the production of NAD plus in your body. The NAMPT-mediated salvage pathway is a critical pathway for DNA repair. The study published in Frontiers of Oncology found that the overexpression of NAMPT is observed in several types of cancerous tumors. Increased levels of NAD plus coupled with the overexpression of the gene have been shown to facilitate the division of the cancer cells and promote cancer cell survival. We don't want to do that. We do not want to do that. We want to starve cancer. Cancer feeds on sugar. So if you have cancer, you want to severely limit, practically eradicate all sugar in your diet. That's all pastas, all breads, all starchy vegetables, all sugars, all sweets, all pastries, all those kind of things, because it all turns to sugar and cancer feeds on sugar. Now, the doctors know this. However, I think there's a connection that they're missing. Whenever you go in to have your cancer checked and you do a PET scan, PET, they will give you glucose to drink. The glucose goes straight to the cancer cells. Cancer cells are greedy. And so on your PET scan, wherever that sugar goes, that's where the cancer is. So they know sugar feeds cancer. But they don't necessarily tell you to modify your diet. And the reason I'm saying that is because every oncologist office I've been in, and I have family members that have had cancer, every oncologist office that I've been in has a bowl of candy right there for the patients. And so really that's not what you want to do if you're trying to eradicate cancer. But I digest on that. Inhibiting the NAMPT can deplete NAD levels, leading to reduced cell viability and increased sensitivity to oxidative stress and DNA damage to breast cancer cells. On the other hand, NAD supplementation has been showing some promise in limiting metabolic metastasis in triple-negative breast cancer. NAD boosters have the potential benefits to be used for cancer patients, especially those with breast cancer, but the approach must be used with caution because of the risk of promoting thermogenesis, enhancing the metastatic potential and interacting with the other cancer therapies. So my advice to you is up your vitamin B. Don't up your supplementation of NAD plus or NAD, because you could be doing the wrong thing. You could be turning on the wrong switch. And so you don't want to do that. Honestly, you need a multivitamin that has competent B vitamins in there. And then if you are healthy, which is what we try and get everybody to be healthy, then your body is going to turn that niacin into NAD plus. So when it comes to NAD plus supplementation, more research regarding on how much you take and for how long to take it is needed. The Food and Drug Administration does not have any kind of recommendations on this. So what can you do? Well, you can eat a keto diet. Now, a keto diet is a specific ratio. It is 70% fat, 20% protein, and the rest carbohydrate. I think it's 23% protein and then 7% carbohydrates. So it's a very, very low carb diet. So when you eat a keto diet, the keto diet will naturally replenish your NAD plus levels. Following a high-fat, low-carb diet produces ketone bodies, which are more efficient means of fuel for the body than the glucose diet, which is what most people, high-carb, packaged foods, all that kind of stuff, and it enhances the mitochondrial function within the cell. And a report by Frontiers of Cellular Neuroscience found that in rats, ketone metabolism in the brain results in fewer NAD plus molecules being used than glucose metabolism does. Thus, the body has a higher rate of usable NAD plus molecules on a keto diet. Now, I like a keto diet. I'm just going to tell you I do. Intermittent fasting, and I practice intermittent fasting. So this is always good when you're doing the right things, and the research shows you're doing the right things. Intermittent fasting is linked to a potential increase in NAD plus levels in the body. Research suggests that intermittent fasting may help stimulate the production of NAD plus and activate sirtuins, which are associated with various health benefits, including longevity. Caloric restrictions and fasting upregulates the NAD biosynthesis and reduces its consumption. All right, so this is important. Now, years ago, I'm going to say maybe 40 years ago, there were some studies done in California on longevity and how to increase your age. And I think that the results were that if you limited your calories to about 500 a day, that you would live a lot longer. Now, I am not necessarily wanting to limit your calories to 500 a day. Okay, that was about 50 years ago. You can go back and look at that research, but intermittent fasting is very good. Intermittent fasting causes you to be in a state of autophagy, and autophagy is where your body cleans up the mess in your cells, right? Because when you have mess in your cells, you can't be healthy. If all of your energy, if you're a grazer and you're eating all day long and all of your energy is going to digestion, then you're not going to have any energy for repair, and that's what we want. So your nutrition, all right, nutrition is another way to get more NAD plus in the body. Tryptophan, and we all know that tryptophan is in turkey, and we all had an overdose of that recently if you're here in the United States, is an essential amino acid found in turkey, chicken, and dairy products. It is the precursor to the de novo synthesis, that is a chemical process that creates complex molecules from simple one of NAD+. Niacin, also known as B3, present in meat, fish, and whole grains, can be converted into NAD+ via that specific pathway. So here you have it. From the report, you don't need to supplement with NAD+. You just need to have a good multivitamin. You need to have a good diet. You need to eat well, okay? No, don't be grazing all day. Do some intermittent fasting, do some keto diet, and then your body will naturally make that NAD plus that we're looking for. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. Sometimes I can just get too much information out there and I sound like Charlie Brown's teacher, and that's not what we want. We want to give you the information that you can use so that you can be healthy. I want you to be healthy. It is, as I said earlier, this is our last recording before 2025. Next week, we are closed for the Christmas season. And so I just want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, all the things that we absolutely love about the season. It is a season of goodwill. It is the season of joy to the world, right? So I want you to celebrate the joy in your life. Treat people well. Do for others that can't do for themselves. Remember why we celebrate, and I will see you in 2025. Take care. Love you guys.